Welcome to this edition of The Forum. I'm your host, Sheila Evans. We have a great show in store for you today with an outstanding lineup of guests. We get our show started today by talking with Denise Angevine, New Hanover County Schools Enrollment Specialist. She will give us all the details on kindergarten registration. Then we're joined by Jim McKee, who will give us a preview of this year's 155th anniversary of the fall of Fort Anderson. And finally, we'll sit down with Kay Lynn from the Cape Fear River Watch to talk about Striper Fest. We've got a great edition of The Forum for you today, and we'll get started right after this short break.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
I am joined by Denise Angevine. She's an enrollment specialist for New Hanover County Schools, and we are here today to talk about kindergarten registration.
We are. It is time.
Okay, fill us in.
Class of 2033 will begin registering for kindergarten March the 2nd through March the 13th. Now, we will register right up until school starts, but we like to push to get as many enrolled during those 2 weeks that we can.
Yeah, I can imagine the paperwork's a little bit easier on the front end.
It is.
What is the age for kindergarten cutoff?
They must be 5 years old by August the 31st, 2020.
Okay, fair enough. And where do parents register their children?
Parents will go to the school district in which they are assigned by their residents.
Okay.
And we can help them look that up. You can see the number scrolling on the bottom. You can call our office. We'll look it up for them. No worries. We'll get them situated.
And can they find out by going to the website and typing in their address?
They can. We've got our map is located under the registration tab.
Okay.
School attendance zones.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
That's easy.
Yeah, very.
What do people need to have for the documents for their kindergarten registration?
Certainly. They need to bring their child's certified birth certificate, their immunization report, even if they've not gotten their 5-year-old shots yet, and proof of residence showing where they live. And for proof of residence, we'll take the New Hanover County property tax, a current lease agreement, and if there are any problems with that, they're welcome to give us a call and we'll work out those problems for them.
Okay. Now, talk a little bit more about the certified birth certificate.
Yes, a lot of parents, and I was one of them, did not get their child's certified birth certificate. So if you do not have it, you contact the county in which your child was born and arrange to get a copy of the certified birth certificate, and that works for other states as well. You would contact that state Register of Deeds office.
Okay. And do New Hanover County Schools have options for parents in terms of school versus the one that they're required to attend?
We do. Everyone is assigned to a district school, but we have got 3 magnet schools and 2 year-round options that parents can apply for. We've got Freeman School of Engineering,
Okay.
Snipes Academy of Arts and Design, and the International School of Gregory that are the 3 magnets. And our 2 year-round schools serve New Hanover County, Coddington Elementary, and Eaton. And designation to those schools is the county is split in half essentially.
Okay.
Eaton serves the north part of the county, Coddington serves the south part of the county. So for a parent to be eligible or want to apply to those schools, they would need to make sure that during the 2 weeks of kindergarten registration, they register their child at their district school and then can make an application for any of those 5 schools.
Is Coddington and Eaton a lottery system like it used to be?
It is.
Okay.
They're totally populated by lottery, as is Gregory, totally populated by lottery.
Okay.
Snipes and Freeman have a small district, but accept lottery students based on space.
And is transportation provided to all those schools?
Transportation is provided to all 5 of those schools.
Nice.
We also offer open choice, which parents provide transportation for that opportunity. If a parent wants to go to one of our traditional schools other than their district school, they would submit an open choice application. Open choice is based on space availability, and we email letters to parents letting them know whether they were in or not.
Do people get in often?
It just depends on the space at the school. You know, we've been so overcrowded with numbers, but now with a whole new elementary school opening up and redistricting taking place, we might have some options this year.
Gotcha. So where can people find more information about kindergarten registration?
They can go to our website, which is www.nhcs.net. They can call myself, or we have another phone number listed. Contact any elementary school in your area. They'll have all the info.
So when you go to the website, there's a registration tab you can click?
There
and it
is.
takes you right to all your
Yes, ma'am.
stuff?
You get lots of different options under that registration tab, but kindergarten enrollment is one of those.
Okay. And what if people don't have hands on their immunization records? You said they had to bring what they had.
Bring
even
what
if
they
they
have.
don't have the 5-year-old shots.
That's correct. And contact their pediatrician. They should be able to get them a report to turn in, or the health department.
What's usually the most challenging part for folks?
The certified birth certificate.
Okay, that makes
They
sense.
usually did not get that when they needed to.
And that's got a raised seal.
It does. It does. It's the official document. So
very
I
good.
also would like to plug
just
our
gonna
magnet
say, let's talk
fair.
about the magnet fair.
So on February the 20th, 2020, from 5:30 to 7 at Independence Mall, we'll be having the 5th annual Magnet and Choice School Fair. Kindergarten parents will really enjoy this because we have the 5 schools, the 3 magnets, and the 2 year-round schools. Staff will have a table and they will answer all sorts of questions. I will be there to answer any enrollment questions. And Snipes Academy of Arts and Design is sending their dribblers, their dance company, drummers, and their strings to perform. So if you have never seen those children perform, you will so enjoy it. They're so wonderful. So come join us at Independence Mall and learn more about those magnet and year-round schools.
Will the other schools have students there or just staff?
Just staff.
Okay.
Yeah, Snipes is the only one sending students, so they'll have staff.
Very good, very good. Sounds like a fun time.
Oh, it is.
Now it's your 5th year. Do you have a lot of people come out?
We do. It
Good.
gets bigger and larger every year.
Very good. Well,
Yes.
what a great opportunity to talk to everybody at one time.
Exactly. We
And
cover
great
a lot
hours after work,
Yes.
5:30 to 7.
Yes.
What day of the week is the 20th?
I'm thinking it's the Thursday, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I like Thursdays. And with the kindergarten registration, after they fill everything out, do they drop it off at the school?
They do, and they
Okay.
should actually go to the school. The packets are at the school ready for them to pick up or fill out while they're there. They go to the school, bring their documents, fill out this. It's a
that's a
small
good idea.
packet, and the school will copy the documents they bring, and then the registration is complete.
Very good. Do you think that it's best for people to take care of this during those 2 weeks versus trying to wait until 3 days before school starts?
I do. It helps the schools by knowing how many to expect, getting staff in place, and there are sometimes kindergarten students are assessed, and if they enroll early, they will get assessed, and all that will be done before school starts.
And some schools actually have like an open house for them.
They do.
don't
They have
Yeah.
camps and play dates, and I've heard of
Nice.
all kinds of things.
Well, good deal, Denise. Remind me again, March
March the 2nd through March the 13th. Go visit your district school to register for kindergarten.
Good job. We'll be back in a few minutes right after these messages.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
I have Jim McKee here, and he is here to talk about the 155th anniversary of the fall of Fort Anderson. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Well, it's going to be the same, but it's going to be different
Okay.
from what we've done in the past. Every 5 years, the state likes to do a big battle. So this coming weekend will be the 155th Fort Fisher with a battle. We didn't have a battle. The heaviest fighting at the fall of Fort Anderson took place on February 18th, 1865 between the 104th Ohio and the 25th South Carolina. By the way, it was their bands that fought. It was a battle. That was the heaviest fighting. I hate to say it. So, in the past when we've done this program, we've just kind of made up a battle, made it a what if. So this year we decided to go with something different. We're going to do a bigger living history where we're going to have artillery demonstrations, infantry demonstrations, medical, torpedoes, and I think we've even got an embalmer.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have a lot of good stuff going on during the day, plus we'll have interactives and hands-on activities for the families and for everybody. We'll have speakers. But at night, that Saturday night of the 15th, we're going to do something completely different and completely new. We're going to do a nighttime reenactment of the last hours of Fort Anderson. And it's going to include a heavy artillery duel. So we'll have a 32-pounder cannon flanked by 2 6-pounder cannons. They'll be in the fort. And then across, on the other side of our pond in the town area, we'll have our new 30-pound Parrott rifle, Fort Fisher's 12-pound Napoleon, and another 6-pounder. And they'll be portraying the U.S. Navy. So we're going to have a duel between the Navy and the fort.
Cool.
And it'll last about 30 to 40 minutes, that duel. But then we'll have other stuff going on at the same time. We'll have it all narrated, and there'll be troop movements going around. So and if we can fix it right, we're still working on the logistics. The troops will be moving in around the spectators, so it'll be somewhat of an immersive event. And with the size of these big guns, it will shake the earth. You'll feel the spectators.
You'll feel the ground move.
You'll feel the ground move. And being at night, it'll just light up the sky.
And as far as you know, no one else has ever done something like this before?
Not with heavy artillery.
Okay.
We've done it. We did a program for the State Parks Centennial several years ago at Fort Macon, where the fort's big guns, and we had field pieces, but not heavy artillery versus heavy artillery. It has not been done in North Carolina, not probably in 150 years.
Wow. So give us an idea of the time frame.
Okay, well, the daytime activities will be from 10 to 3.
Okay.
February 15th and 16th. And then the nighttime will be from 6 to 7:30.
Okay. Is there a fee for anything at all?
The nighttime is $10, and the tickets can be purchased at Eventbrite.
Okay.
It's $10 in advance, but it's guaranteed to be, and they'll be able to buy tickets at the gate also.
So if you don't get to Eventbrite.
Right.
Very
You'll be able to
good.
buy tickets.
How long has all this been in the planning?
Right now, probably 6 or 7 months.
Very good.
Yeah, and this on top of all the stuff that has happened at that site in the last year and a half since Florence. I'm happy to say that today we have fully started the rebuild of our visitor center.
Oh, good.
And the plan is to have the visitor center open to the public by February 14th.
Very good, very good. Will there be food available for purchase?
Yes, we'll have, I forgot the name of the, Port City Q. Yeah, Port City Q will be there both days.
Okay.
Our support group, our friends of Brunswick Town Fort Anderson will have a bake sale, more than likely. So yeah, there'll be food available.
Okay.
Which is something, we've tried that in the past, and we do it at certain events. So we've tried, and we're so thankful Port City Q is able to come out for this event.
Okay. Now tell us about some of the speakers. I'm really intrigued that you have an embalmer.
Yeah, yeah. We had that demonstration a few years ago, but people think, with the war, they think, the battles and about the casualties and everything, but what happened to the dead? Most of them were buried in unmarked graves. usually about where they fell. But but sometimes you had families that could afford to have the bodies shipped back home. And towards the middle of the war, embalmers started following the armies. And so after a battle, you know, if a family could afford it, they would have the body dug up and embalmed right there.
Now, what might folks find interesting at the medical station?
Well, the medical station is always interesting because you look at how much has changed, but it really hasn't. You know, the instruments, a lot of the instruments are the same. They have the same names, and they're very similar. The material might be a little bit different. The size of them might be a little different, but a lot of that's the same as what it is today. But you know what the soldiers and what the civilians went through. You know, with the medical aspects, and when you find out that American medicine was still in its dark ages during the war, but then you see how much advance came out of it, and how much it improved medicine altogether.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and a lot of that is you know, you'll see all the instruments, and Chris Grimes, who will be doing the interpretation of that, he's been doing this for years, and he's one of the top medical interpreters that I know of.
Very nice.
And Mike Williams, who also does the medical, but he's the one that kind of pushed and really developed the embalming, which is fun.
Very interesting.
It is. We'll have Gene Oakley should be out with his working steam engines. So if we have people who are interested in the navies and the engines that ran the ships, he's got small scale working models of these engines. It sound just like they work. I mean, it's like I said, it's an immersive event.
Very cool. So just as a reminder, Saturday and Sunday, February 15th and 16th, you start at 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. Right?
And the nighttime with the artillery?
Will be 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So we'll probably start the artillery somewhere around 6:20. We're still playing with the logistics and everything, but yeah.
Very good. Well, sounds exciting.
It is.
Thanks, Jim, for coming and
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you so much.
We'll be back in a few minutes, right after these messages.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of different types of heart disease, like AFib, which is a type of irregular heartbeat. It affects both women and men, but women with AFib have a higher risk of stroke and death than men. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. Diet and exercise are key to staying healthy. Know the risks. Women Heart does something really unique, solely focusing on women and providing peer-to-peer support. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
I am joined by Kay Lynn. She's with the Cape Fear River Watch, and she is here today to talk about the Striper Fest Community Education Day. So it's coming up. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so Striper Fest Community Education Day is part of a 2-day event that we have. It's been separated this year for the first time. So Striper Fest is our largest fundraiser of the year, but Striper Fest Community Education Day is the educational piece of Striper Fest. So it's going to be on February 8th from 11 to 2. We're really excited about the new things happening at Striper Fest Community Education Day this year. We'll have over 45 different exhibits, and it's at the Coastline Conference Center, not to be confused with the Convention Center downtown, the new one. So the one next to the Railroad Museum.
Gotcha.
So over 45 different exhibits, and we'll be focusing on anadromous fish. So there's a huge fisheries restoration effort going on by Cape Fear River Watch and other organizations. And so it's a way to bring awareness to those efforts. So we'll have stations set aside that focus on different water quality issues. We'll have a lot of hands-on science experiments for kids. Every single exhibit will have something hands-on for them. So there'll be microscopes looking at plankton and microorganisms and things like that. We'll have tables that focus just on water quality. So we'll be looking at like building water molecules and things like that for kids. We'll have tables focusing on local conservation issues like hurricane impacts to flora and fauna. And we'll also have a bunch of different tables just focused on fish. An anadromous fish is a migratory fish. They're fish that are trying to get from the open ocean to fresh water up the Cape Fear River to spawn and reproduce. And it's those fish that we're concerned about and trying to bring awareness to the restoration efforts. So we'll be focused on striped bass and shad and herring. Those are all migratory fish, and teaching kids and adults alike about everything about those fish, impacts to those fish, including water quality. And we'll have tables set up to look into internal anatomy of those fish so kids can actually dissect a fish, and external anatomy and all kinds of things.
Will you have live fish there? Will people get to see what they are?
So the Fort Fisher Aquarium will be there with some live animals. We'll have other live animals as well, just to make it a fun event. The Cape Fear Raptor Center will be there with some birds of prey. The Cape Fear River Partnership will be there with some catadromous eels. And so, yes, there'll be live animals there. We have a lot of sciencey things for older kids and adults, but we also have an entire kids zone set aside where we'll have a puppet show about anadromous fish. And we'll also have face painting and arts and crafts and things like that.
Is there a fee?
There's no fee. It's completely free to get in. Now, we do have boat rides that are scheduled throughout the day, and for that you can register either online through our website or at the event. But Wilmington Water Tours is providing boat rides on the Cape Fear River, so you can go in and sign up, or go into our website at capefearriverwatch.org and sign up there. Also, Cape Fear Community College will have their research vessel Hatteras completely open for people who are attending Striper Fest that day, so they can go and tour that research vessel. Marine tech students will be on board, stationed at different locations on the vessel to teach people about what that particular part of the ship does at sea. So really exciting. And they'll also have some boat warehouses open, so the students there that are learning about building boats will have their boats on display for people to see.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Now, you said that, I think you said that this part of this is with the biggest fundraiser that you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Striper Fest Community Education Day is a piece of it, and then we also have a Striper Fest banquet along with a catch, tag, and release fishing tournament. That's going to be happening later in March. It's been separated for the first time.
And why did y'all separate it?
Well, because last year we had moved it to March. We had moved the whole thing to March, including Striper Fest Community Education Day, and our numbers had been building year after year. This is our 8th year doing Education Day, and so they've been building up to about 500. And then last year we saw a decrease in participants, and we feel like that was probably because of the time of the year. It was good for the banquet, yes, March, soccer and sports and things are going, and
that
those
makes
kids.
sense.
And it was 75 degrees that day, and everybody had been stuck indoors for the whole winter, and they went to the beach. So we decided to move Community Education Day back to the colder weather, and expect to see way more participants again this year.
Was it at Coastline last year?
It was,
It's such a good venue for you guys.
It's a great venue. Yeah, we love it there. We love it at the Coastline Conference Center. It's cozy now. We've been, doing stuff with Coastline Conference Center now for years. So
Very good.
very familiar
What's
with
your
it.
biggest challenge with the event?
Biggest challenge for the event? That's a good question. I think, honestly, parking.
Well, you know what? I've been to the Coastline Convention Center twice in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Parking.
Yes, parking. Parking is a bit, if it's full, if we have a lot of people, and that was another issue with the event in March, is that we had people staying at the hotel there, more people there, and that filled up that parking lot. So people would come through for the event, not find parking, and leave. So we're having all of our volunteers go and park somewhere else. We expect over 100 volunteers from different organizations around town and our own for the event. So they will be dropping their things off, parking somewhere else to leave all of that open for our guests that are coming through.
There is construction on the other side of the building.
Yes.
So that kind of hampers the parking as well.
Yeah,
You
but
just need to plan for it. That's
yeah,
all.
that's right. And that side of the building, there really wasn't much parking anyway. The parking that's available is still completely wide open. And then there's the parking deck directly across the street that people can use as well.
True. And what's your favorite part of it?
Oh my gosh. I think working with all of the different organizations that are coming, we have governmental organizations coming, like City of Wilmington Stormwater Services provides a really fun activity for kids. And then we also we work with the universities. UNCW brings several groups, and the MIPA, Marine Quest will be there, Plastic Oceans Project will be there. Cool. And then also we have some private organizations coming in and offering some hands-on activities for kids. But I think it's just working with other local conservation groups and working with all of the people, all those wonderful environmental educators in our region. It's an opportunity for them to come and highlight what they do so well. Sure. For kids.
Share their passion.
Share their passion.
It must be really exciting for kids to see the live animals.
Absolutely. Live animals is always a draw. For us, we want to get them in there to educate them about these migratory fish. The live animals and the face painting and arts and crafts, that's the draw to get them in. Mm-hmm. But once they're in there, I believe that adults learn just as much as kids do. Sure. It's really an event that's ideal for preschoolers all the way up into adults.
Very good. So a reminder that it's February
8th, Saturday, February 8th.
Okay.
It opens at 11, it ends at 2, and you can just come at any time to stroll through there. But give yourself plenty of time this year, especially since the RV Hatteras will be open, because that will take some time to tour in itself, and then all of those boats too in the open boat buildings will be great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kay, for stopping by and giving us all the details.
All right. Thanks for having me.
We'll be back in a few minutes, right after these messages.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
We hope you've enjoyed our program today. If you would like more information on kindergarten registration, you can contact Denise Angevine at 251-2929. You can also visit the school system's website at www.nhcs.net. Make sure to join Jim McKee for the 155th anniversary of the Fall of Fort Anderson. It will be held on Saturday, February 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Brunswick Town Fort Anderson State Historic Site. And you can catch the Striper Fest on Saturday, February 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in downtown Wilmington. Now, if you ever have any questions about the topics we discussed here on our show today, please call the school system's public relations office at 254-4106. I'm Sheila Evans, and thanks for joining me today.